Welcome back. It is a beautiful snowy Tuesday morning here in Minnesota, and we are back with another unit of our music theory series. This is our beginning theory series. Last set of videos we did treble clef note names, as well as intro to sight reading rhythms and solfege. Today we're going to take another step in our sight reading by adding eighth notes and by extending our scale up from do to do. And that solfege sight singing is going to be later in this video. But for right now, I want to expand our sight reading in terms of rhythm. The last time we met, we did the following rhythms. We just did our sight reading using quarter notes, which are worth 1 beat. We did half notes, which are worth 2 beats, dotted half notes, which are worth 3 beats, and whole notes, which are worth 4 beats. Okay, if you'll remember all of those. Let me just erase these things here. Okay, so we did those kinds of rhythms. Now, if you'll also remember, the way that I like to teach rhythms, and there's a lot of different ways to count rhythms when we're doing our sight reading. A lot of people use like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, which is also something that I do, but we're going to get into why I don't really want to use that too much in this this particular unit. Then there's also a lot of people who use like takadimi, ta 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 ta. Tas are fantastic for when you're working with quarter notes and subdivisions that are smaller than a quarter note. Takadimi for 16ths, or ta-dimi would be 8th and 2/16. It falls apart a little bit when you have rhythms that are larger than quarter notes. And because this is theory class for a choir, we frequently have longer notes in choir. We'll have fast notes too, but voices lend themselves to longer phrases a lot better. So we often have larger notes. So takadimi isn't always a great fit for when we're reading rhythms for singing. Sometimes it does, but what I want to do is really just focus on where the big beats are. Okay, I've taught a lot of different rhythm reading methods. And I've learned a lot of different ones. And I found that where the least confusion happens down the line is where we're just keeping track of those big beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 for a 4/4 measure. If it was 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If we can keep track of the big beats and then clap the rhythms underneath it, then we do what I talked about in the last video, which is we are establishing our structure of 4 beats per measure and then laying rhythms over the top of that. I find that is the best way to understand the relationship between beat and rhythm, as well as actually just learn them. Okay, so we're going to use this sheet of rhythms that we'll be using in class as well, and we're just going to go through it. First, we'll do a little bit of a warm up. Okay, let's look up here at number 1, which is a very easy one. Okay, number 1. So first of all, I'm going to write my rhythms underneath it. Whoops, sorry about that. 2, 3, 4. By rhythms, I do mean beats. I'm going to write my beats underneath it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to count out loud and clap. 1, 2. So I'm going to clap the rhythm, count out loud the numbers. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now, on this particular one that we just did, the rhythms line up with the beat. Okay, let's skip down here to number 3. I'm going to write in my beat again. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm going to do what I did last time. I'm going to count my beats and clap the rhythm. Let's try it. 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy enough. All right, number 4. 2, 3. Now, if you don't need to write all these in, that's okay. Because I think for this one, probably you can get the gist of it, but I'll do it anyway. Sorry, my numbers are all a little cockamamie there. All right. 1, 2, number 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Easy. Easy stuff. Now, let's see if I can clear this out here. All right, now we're gonna go to number 2, because number 2 is where we have our first eighth notes. Eighth notes are twice as fast as quarter notes. And so if I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, and I need to make my rhythm twice as fast as the beat. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Now you sometimes will see eighth notes written in different ways. Okay, in this particular sheet of paper, the eighth notes are beamed 4 to a group. 1 is here, beat 2 is here. Let me draw another set of them. 3, 4. Okay, that's the way they do it in this one. Sometimes though, you're gonna see groupings of 2 eighth notes like this. 1, oops, 2. Okay, this is exactly the same as this, except in how they look. Okay, those are equivalent to each other. I like this a little bit more when I'm writing. If it's really fast, sometimes we'll do this, but I like this because it preserves the structure of the beat underneath it. Okay, so if you're in class with me, you'll usually see me write them like this, but this is equally valid. Okay, they both work just fine. I just tend to prefer this one. This particular sheet does not do what I prefer. All right, but I already kind of solved this one. All right, so number 2 here. All right, these are just eighth notes straight across. 1, 2, 3. If we were doing the and system, we would put our ands in between these. We use a little plus sign usually instead of writing the word and. But I am not going to do that, except just to show you how people do it. 1, 2. I think it's a little squished in here. Sorry. 1, 2. Really, what is that? Just to be more careful. All right. So some people go 1 and 2 and 3. I don't like that because I think that confuses the beat with the rhythm. So I'm just going to count my numbers. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How'd you do? Right? If you're finding like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, if you're like going way too fast, that means you need to slow your tempo down. Okay, that's all. For these, we really don't care too much about tempo. Keep it slow. I'd rather you be accurate than fast. All right, that was on. Now, let's combine some of these, okay? Let's go for number 5. Let me clear off my screen here real quick. Okay, number 5. I'm going to go ahead and write my beats in. Okay, I'm just going to keep making a habit of that until I'm good enough that I don't need those anymore. And I recommend if you think you're good enough that you don't need those, but you feel like you just got good enough that you don't need those, keep doing it for a while. Okay? It's better, you don't want to get out ahead of your skis. It's better to just like write them in and then really not need them at some point. 2, 3, 4. And so notice I'm doing them on, I'm skipping an eighth note in between because this is where the beats are. I'm not just counting notes, I'm counting the beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm thinking ahead. These are all on the beat, and then I've got notes twice as fast as the beat, okay? So think about it for a second, how it's going to work, how it's going to sound. I'm going to do it twice. So the first time, I'm just going to count the beats, and you're going to clap. The second time, I will clap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'll clap it. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do another one. Let's do number 6. All right, here's number 6. Now I've got half notes here. So now, notice when I'm writing my numbers, they're all lining up on top of each other. Okay, no matter what kind of note is in the box. Because all of these excerpts, all of these little lines can all be played at the same time. All right, here's number 6. I'll do the same thing. I'll count it, you clap, and then it'll be my turn. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's my turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So as long as you keep your beat steady and think about how the notes are going to line up with your numbers that you're counting, these are not too challenging. In class, we will be combining different rows together to hear how they sound on top of each other, and so you stick to your part. But that is the essentials of how to read rhythms that have eighth notes in them. Now, there are going to be much more complicated permutations of those eighth notes, but this is the how to get started. Make sure that you keep that beat structure in place all the time. That doesn't change. The beats, the 1, 2, 3, 4, that doesn't change. But your rhythms will change on top of it. So how do your rhythms slot into that beat structure kind of formula, the beat structure thing that you're hanging everything onto, okay? So keep your beats steady and keep your rhythms changing. I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, we're going to talk about solfege from do to do. I'll see you there. Next up, we are going to work on solfege. Okay, in the first video, we only explored solfege from do up to sol. Okay, we only did these first 5 solfege letters, okay, solfege syllables. Okay, but now we're getting more advanced. We need to add our last 2 notes, okay, la and ti, and then the top do is the same as the bottom do, it's just an octave higher. So we're going to be adding those 2. Okay? Really, it's just a matter of remembering them, okay, and getting used to seeing them. That there's not a whole lot of extra thing to it. And then, of course, when we factor it into the sight singing, it'll be more difficult, just because we're adding some more. But so last time, right, we did. I'm playing in C major. We did do, re, mi, fa, sol, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Let me move my microphone so you can see better. Do it again. You do it with me. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Now, normally you wouldn't do them quite so high, but since I'm sitting down, I gotta bring them up here. Just gotta make sure I leave room for that top do all the way up there. Okay, so it's bringing me to our thing, right? I just did do, re, mi, fa, sol, sol, fa, mi, re, do. I just did those ones. Now we're gonna add the top notes of the scale. Okay, so let's just sing it first, and I'll show you the hand signs. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Now this is a major scale. Okay, we're for the purposes of this class, we're only going to be doing major scales. Okay, minor scales, you change some of these letters and the notes along the way. But for right now, if we can get through, if I can get you all through middle school, and knowing your major scale solfege, that's going to be a big victory for me, I think. So, and for you. All right, let's do that one more time. We're just going to sing up and down. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Another good warm-up is doing do, mi, sol, do, sol, mi, do. Or do, mi, sol, do, ti, do, sol, mi, do. Doing little different combinations of these things to get your brain warmed up is really good, because some of the tricky things that when we use these T and La, and it might be partly because we just haven't learned them yet, or maybe partly because it's like, I don't know, like a lot of music just stays in that especially for when we're younger, stays in that do through sol range, and we don't end up getting the La and T. But all right, anyway, here's our hand symbols for it. Okay. I'll start with my low do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Remember, some of these hand symbols like fa and ti, they're pointing at the notes that they want to move to. Okay, so like fa wants to resolve down to mi, and ti wants to resolve up to do. That's why they're the way that they are. I'll do it again. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. I recommend picking a hand and getting really good at doing it, because I know when I try to do it with my left hand, even though I'm left-handed, I get all mixed up. So try to do it all with one hand. Okay. That is the scale using our Kerwin hand signs, and by adding la and ti. When we do our sight singing in class, we'll be adding la for a while, and then we will graduate to adding ti, and then we'll start skipping around. But that is it for right now. Okay, that was your solfege. That was your sight reading rhythms. I hope this all is helpful. Feel free to go back and watch these again if you have specific questions. But that's it. I will see you next time. Bye.